Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You are now listening to the Apocalyptic Aftermath channel. It is a hot day. We are burning up in here. And if it's your first time joining my channel, welcome. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys are doing great. I am your most unhumble and most unholy host, the Apocalyptic Aftermath himself. Yes, sir. So, yesterday's video was a little bit comical on purpose, but I'm kind of serious too. Like, I'm a good man. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing by myself all the fucking time. It's kind of, but well, in my case, it's understandable because I don't live in a city where there is opportunity to meet people. I don't live in an area where that's possible. And I don't go out that much. Either. So the Illuminati's after me and stuff like that. I got gang members after me. I got the Illuminati after me. I got everybody after me. You know what I mean? I got family members after me. Everybody's after me. So I don't get a lot of opportunity to meet women, man. But there is, from time to time, where I do try to shoot my shot. And they're not always successful. Sometimes it pans out and sometimes it doesn't. But there are good men out there, But the thing here that disturbs me is it seems like y'all don't like entrepreneurs. It seems that women don't like men that are entrepreneurs. That's what it looks like. It looks like, because I'm an entrepreneur, so I hear things, I hear people, I hear the stream, I hear the ether, you know what I mean? And in the ether, there's this kind of thing where it's kind of, hold up, because my camera is too far away. Hold up. So, is that good? Yes, it is. Okay, so I hear the ether, and in the ether it's kind of like, okay, I don't know what's going on. My light is up, everything is up. I don't know what's happening. I don't know why the image is so dark. So, anyways, man, I hear in the ether that we think too much about money. That's not true. We don't think too much about money. We're creative people. We think about our business. We don't think about the money. We think about business. Entrepreneurs like me, we're not talking about money. We're talking about projects. We're talking about creating. We're talking about using our imagination, our creativity, our ability to innovate platforms that are already pre-existing and innovate within those platforms. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about money. Like, the people that keep talking about money are, either Illuminati, that's facts, or they're lazy. So that means they don't feel like doing anything. It doesn't have anything to do with money. They just don't feel like doing shit, period. But the funny part is, for a woman, whether you're lazy or not, I don't understand how that could cause you a problem. Because at the end of the day, I'm the one doing all the work. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the one doing all the work. So, but the thing is, women cannot stand next to a man that's doing everything that he has to be doing during the day. There's not a lot of women that will fucking, accompany her boyfriend to the gym, for an hour in the day. There's not a lot of women that's gonna accompany their boyfriend, their entrepreneurial boyfriend, to their MMA class or karate class for 1 hour in the day. There's not a lot of women that's gonna be hard enough to be a cashier at the next social event that I'm fucking creating, because you're just a cashier. You're not doing anything. You're just holding money. But that's too hard for some people. That's way too fucked up for some people, and I'm saying that, and probably you don't even have to do that, because I'll get a group of people to do that for me. You know what I mean? Like, so even I'm not the one holding the fucking money at the end of the fucking day. Well, more or less. So it's a hatred. It's some, I don't, well, hatred is a strong word, but there's a kind of disdain. There's a kind of repulsiveness about like entrepreneurs and relationships, which is kind of weird because at the end of the day, I'm not doing this for her, but there's a part of me that is doing it for her because I want to take care of like the next time I do I'm doing this so that I could live comfortably. I'm doing this so I can be stable and live comfortably. And vicariously through that, you're gonna live comfortably because I'm gonna make sure you got everything you need and everything you want. So I don't see how that's actually an issue, or why would that cause an issue. And I don't know, the entrepreneurial men get a lot of disrespect for some fucking reason, which is kind of weird because we're just trying to do what's right. At the end of the day, we're not, pawns and zombies. We're not zombies. We're not pawns. We're not, sheep. We're not following the crowd. We're doing our own thing. It's fun. Because at the end of the day, like, you can hate on me all you want, but you can't tell me, like, playing video game as, a means of income is fucking square ass shit. It's not a square ass shit. I'm just playing a fucking video game. It's not a big deal. Like, it's not I'm not a fucking investment banker. I'm not a fucking, what's it called? I'm not, how do you say, the people that buy houses and shit. I'm not a real estate agent. I'm not a real estate agent. I'm not a real estate agent. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, some people are. Some entrepreneurs are real estate agent, but even the real estate agent is the same fucking deal. It's the same schmeal. It's the same schmeal. He's not out here, trying to hurt women. He's trying to take care of you. He's trying to buy you some dinner. He's trying to, he's trying to check those boxes. But y'all ain't giving us the opportunity to do that, and then y'all go out and be like, oh, we can't find a good man. Well, shit, man, what else you want? Like, you telling me we ain't good, but we're trying to do good while you telling us that we ain't good. Like, that's sad, man. Like, so I don't know, like, not all women are red flags. I don't know, like, a good guy, I mean, to some women, a good guy is a dude that, just have fun with his friends, playing games and shit, and that's cool, but I'm like that dude. It's just that I do different things, we're the same people, it's just I do different things. Like, that's the thing, like, people like that, they like playing with their toys. They like they're consumers, right? They got the money, they go to work, they got the money, they buy, they consume, right? But me, the difference between an entrepreneur and a person like that is that I used to consume, but I love it so much that I don't want to just consume it anymore. I want to create it, I want to create it. I don't want just to consume it. Some people are okay with just consuming, and there's nothing wrong with that. Without the consumers, we would have nothing. We wouldn't have a business. So we need the consumers. We need people, and consumer and all those big business words, they mean nothing. It's just another, the thing that people don't understand is that all these business word is just another way to hide our emotions at the end of the day. We're hiding our emotions because it's not that people are very critical and very criticizing and very discriminating, right? So you can't go see a person. So at first we thought like, oh man, Coca-Cola tastes so good, I bet everybody would love this. But we can't market it like that. We can't go see our next door neighbor and be like, yo, Coca-Cola is really good, drink this shit, buy it off of me, it's really good, taste it, you're gonna love it, right? Like, that's just, that's bare bones, right? That's bare bones. And people keep acting like, they don't understand what we mean. Like, when it comes to entrepreneur, they always acting like it's jealousy. Entrepreneurs face a ginormous amount of jealousy at the end of the day, because it doesn't matter if I'm using business lingo or I'm using regular dialect, regular social dialects, to speak to a person, with idioms and shit like that, as of, emotion and sentiments and feelings, I can talk to you about my business that way. If you want to, I can talk to you about my business on the spiritual pattern. But it doesn't matter if I speak to a person on the spiritual plate about my business, because you're still going to hate it. Because people have a disdain, they have prejudice against fucking entrepreneurs. They just don't like entrepreneurs. And people don't like entrepreneurs because entrepreneurs make them feel like they're not doing enough. It makes them feel like they're not doing enough. And you might not be doing enough though. Like that might be facts, because I don't have a lot. I don't have a lot, and I never had a lot. I was born poor. You know what I mean? I was born poor, man. I was born broke as a joke. So, I never had a lot. So everything I had to create it. So it's like a normal evolution. When I was a kid, I used to make my own toys. I didn't have a lot of toys. I would ask for toys, and I would get told no. You know what I mean? So I couldn't get any fucking action figures and shit like that. So I made my own. I made my own action figures and shit. And I had a great time. I wasn't complaining. And like, it's not like I was crying to my parents I didn't give a shit. They told me no, fine. I'm gonna go make my own fucking goddamn fucking toy and shit. And I made a bunch, man. I had like I would make Transformers out of cardboard. I would cut up figurines in magazines and shit, and tape it to like cardboards and shit, and they would have like adjustable arms and shit, the whole 9 yards. So I would straight up like take things out of the house and just put them together and make a robot out of it and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, so, but sometimes I did get some things here and there, like, like a Super Nintendo, some shit like that. I had some toys, I just didn't have a lot of toys, and I didn't complain about it that much. It didn't really bother me because it made me use my imagination. So later on in life, when you're a person that's used to creating your own things all the time, I made my own comic books. I would make my own toys. Like shit, I don't know. There's probably something else I used to create myself and I don't remember, like cocaine or something. Like, nah, I'm kidding. But like almost, like I probably maybe I did create my own drugs. I don't fucking remember what it is. You know what I mean? Like, so I would just create shit. I was just, I was a little bit of a Martha Stewart. You know what I mean? I was a little bit of a Martha Stewart. You know what I mean? So, as you evolve, as you grow up, like why you're gonna keep like, so from age 6 to age 20, 25, you're gonna remain just creating shit for yourself for that's a good 15 years, man. That's fucking 15 years, bro. Like, that's 15 years of just you making shit for yourself. And that's cool. But you gotta grow up. You gotta live. You got bills to pay. You got a cell phone. I got a cell phone. You got these things. I got a cell phone. I got these things. You gotta pay for things. You gotta clothe yourself. You gotta put clothes on. You gotta eat food. So, like, you don't want to end up being a sellout. But, like, you end up growing up just creating things, and now you're using that mentality of you knowing how to use your hands in order to create more things, and you got to sell them. You got to put it in the market. You got to want people to buy it so you can build more. And basically you're making a job out of yourself so you can keep being yourself, and that's what entrepreneurship is all about. And a lot of people hate on, and there's some entrepreneurs that don't understand that. There's some entrepreneurs, they're entrepreneurs because they fucking feel like it, because everybody else is entrepreneurs and they fucking feel like it, and they go get a bank loan and they start the business, boom, you know what I mean? And that's, it is what it is, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's his way of doing things. There's different kinds of entrepreneurs. There's different kinds of people. Just like I'm not like, that other guy, but in some way, shape, or form, we are the same. He's playing with my toys. I create the toys. You know, he's playing with the toys. I create the toys. We're the same people. It's the same fucking thing. There's no difference. It's just that me, I want to create the toys. He's happy just playing with it. I'm happy when I'm making it. You know, I like making things myself. It's like, and it's not, I'm not just talking about toys. It's like, my recent, thing where I wanted to do like some fucking, I was planning on doing candy apples. I never made candy apples before, but I was willing to try. I bought the corn syrup. I bought the corn syrup. I bought the apple. I fucking cooked the caramel. It was carameled apple. I made caramel, bro. I made caramel myself. Corn syrup. I bought the whole fucking 9 yards. You know, I made it myself. The stick, the apple, the whole 9 yards. And it's not easy to make, by the way. Candy apple is not easy to make. So, but that's fun. That's the fun part, is trying to create the thing. That's the fun part. It's not, to me, it's the fun part is not when I sell it. The fun part is when we're doing it. And it's even funner as a group, because then we get to, like, it's a bonding experience. You know what I mean? Like, we're sitting there, we're making candy apples, we're talking to each other, talking about what happened last week, talking about what happened last night, blah, 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 whatever. Your dreams, aspiration, I don't fucking know. Whatever people talk about when they talk about something, somebody's gonna talk anyways. If there's 5 of us in the fucking kitchen making candy apples, somebody's gonna have something to say, and then, put some music on, whatever, and we have some fun, you know what I mean? So it didn't really matter what it is, it could be streaming, candy apples, whatever, fucking comic books, I don't fucking care, but, investment, real estate, whatever, fucking venue, shows at venues, 9 to 5 to happy hour, fucking, what's it called, networking events, all that shit, working with a good group of people. When you work with a good group of people, when you work with people you consider your friends, or a good when you have a good rapport, even though they might not be your friends right now, but you kind of hope that they'll become your friends, because you want to work with them for as long as possible, right? You don't just want to fucking hire people and then throw them out, and hire people and throw them out. A lot of people do that. Some people do that. Some people don't have an issue with that. But me, like I said, it's not just about money. It's about, like, realizing our potential, utilizing our potential. Let's create a plan. Let's think about it. Let's sit down. Let's make a plan, and let's go about it, and let's fucking do it, and that's what an entrepreneur is. It's just somebody that sits down and thinks of a plan and then puts it into motion, and that's all it is, and a lot of people have, like, a lot of misconceptions. It's not just the ladies, the guys too, everybody. Like, we get insulted a lot. We get called, like, fucking peasants. We get called all kinds of fucked up shit, you know what I mean? And it's fucking crazy. It's all the fucking jealousy, money hungry, all that shit hurts, man. That shit hurts, and that's what makes entrepreneur become callous and cold. And that's why you got a lot of entrepreneurs that just be stealing people's money, because all y'all do is fucking insult us every time we're trying to do something, and we're just trying to do something. I mean, it's not my fault that I have the capability of doing things that other people can't. I don't know. I don't even see it that way. I don't even see it as a way that, I can do things that other people can't. I see it as, I know how to do something. Let me check if somebody else wants to do it with me. That's how I see it. I don't see it as, oh, I know how to do this and you don't. Like, that's, but that's how people take it. That's how people want to take it. They want to take it, because that's not what we're showing. That's not what we're showing. We're trying to have a good time. We're not trying to, what I mean, and make money at the same time. Like I said, I'm a creative person. It's not about money. I'm not a person that's just about money. That's bullshit. And everybody that tells you that's a bullfed ass liar. And he fucking jealous, and he probably Illuminati. You know what I mean? Because that's not true. That's far from being the fucking truth. But even if, like, nobody's, and that's the thing too, that's why I'm talking about this, because it has become a stigmat. It has become a stigmat in society, because even when you're talking to somebody that's not brainwashed, or, well, even when you're talking to somebody that's not brainwashed, you tell them, You're an entrepreneur, and then boom, they're like, oh, I don't feel like doing that. I don't feel like they're already like making up like stories, like they're creating situations in their minds about you, and that sucks. That sucks, man. Like that's really bad. That's really bad. So entrepreneurs only hang out with other entrepreneurs because it's only other entrepreneurs understand entrepreneurs, because regular people just don't want to understand entrepreneurs. They don't want to. Like, it's not that it's that difficult. It's not rocket science. They just don't want to. People don't want to hang around entrepreneurs because entrepreneurs are on the go. The entrepreneurs are motivational. Entrepreneurs are good friends because entrepreneurs going to be like, yo, you ready? Let's go. Let's go do this. Didn't you have to do this morning? Did you have to do that morning? Blah, blah, blah. Like, he's gonna, motivate you to go forward. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't want a friend like that because it's annoying. They find it annoying. They don't like it. Like, so they want to be left alone. You know what I mean? And that's fine. If you want to be left alone, that's fine. There's no problem with that either. But me, that's the kind of person I am. If we're on the go, we're on the go. Like I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna give you some of my energy, because when you're an entrepreneur, you're just a person with energy, man. You got good energy. You got positive energy, bro. Because being an entrepreneur is a very positive thing. So you always constantly have like this positive energy that you're trying to radiate to other people. But not everybody wants that kind of energy. Not everybody wants to hear that kind of shit. Not everybody wants to, pardon my language there, but it is what it is, man. There's some people that don't want to hear that kind of stuff. They just, let me sleep, let me do whatever, just let me sleep. You know what I mean? Some people just want to sleep. You know what I mean? Some people just want to sleep, bro. Some people don't want to do that. And a lot of people are attached to their jobs too. There's a lot of people that are attached to their jobs, and they're not ready yet for entrepreneurship, because they're attached to their job. They're comfortable working in the job that they're working in, so they're not necessarily trying to start a business or things like, and that's fine too. It's not preferable. I don't think it's preferable, especially in the days of today's with all the corruption and money grabbing and stuff like that. And there's a lot of projection too. When people talk about like entrepreneurs. There's a lot of projection too, because a lot of that resentment and anger towards us stems from people's own idea of themselves at the end of the day, because they know if they were in your shoes, they'd probably try to be stealing some money off of somebody somewhere. You know what I mean? So not everybody is not. There's not a lot of entrepreneurs that are ethical. You know what I mean? A lot of people, like I'm an ethical business guy, right? And I have conversation with people, and they ask me, "Well, why don't you do it like that?" And I'm like, because the way that you're saying it, a lot of people are suffering if I do it that way. So I don't want to do it that way. I want to do it this way so that nobody gets hurt. So, and this comes from regular people, not just entrepreneur, like regular entrepreneurs too, and regular people too. Not everybody has an ethical business. Not everybody has an ethical way of going about things. You can be an entrepreneur and still care about your environment and still care about humanity at the same fucking time without being, like that's why I'm like into haute couture. That's why I'm into haute couture, because haute couture being, high fashion, because there ain't no high fashion. It's handmade. So there's nobody dying in a fucking factory. No, there's no fucking ceiling falling on somebody's head in no damn factory somewhere when you're talking about like high fashion clothes, because those shit are handmade. They're handmade. They're made on the spot, right? Like when Yves Saint Laurent, the reason why it's called Yves Saint Laurent is because Yves Saint Laurent actually made that thing. Like he actually made that, you know what I mean? So, you know, and the reason why it's so expensive is because of the people that worked on the fabric. You know, so there might be two people working on a piece of fabric. That shit's expensive. It depends on what kind of fabric he's using. It depends on how long the dress or the coat is. It depends on what kind of piece they're making, and the price goes with it because that's expensive. It's more expensive to do it yourself. You got to pay for the expenses. You know what I mean? You got to pay for the rolls and the hours and the this and the that. So a good piece of haute couture clothing, especially a good piece of haute couture clothing, because even if, let's say, Yves Saint Laurent, I guess by now he has a factory, he has a manufacturing company somewhere, you know, and he might be making, you know, people work in, you know, the places where the ceiling might fall on their heads at this point, because there's a lot of Yves Saint Laurent. Yves Saint Laurent is not a rare thing to find, you know, just like Gucci definitely probably has one of those laying around somewhere, you know, at least one. You know what I mean? So no offense, no pun intended, but that's just facts. And a lot of people, not even regular people, they're okay with that. I'm an entrepreneur, so I talk to people, and people be telling me shit like that. And let's say I have a t-shirt business. You know, my t-shirts are expensive. My t-shirts are $60 because I make them myself. You know what I mean? And the material is very good material. It's $20 for one shirt, and I made 10. Right? It's $20 per shirt. Right? So I'm selling that shit 60 because I worked on that. I'm the one that made the design. I paid for the material. I made everything. You know what I mean? And I'm going out to fucking promote the fucking shit. So those shirts are fucking $60. I don't really sell them 60. I'll sell them like 30 and shit. But they're worth the value. The actual value of what I have is around $60. It's not 30. It's not 20. It's a $60 t-shirt. And people will be like, well, okay, that's cool, but why don't you do this? Instead of spending all that money doing that, why don't you get like a company that makes fucking rooftop fall over kids' heads to make the fucking shit for $4? Because I don't want to have a kid getting dismantled, you know, while making my shirt. You know what I mean? It's fun that it's $4 and then I can sell it for 20, but that's cheap. But then people getting hurt. So that's why I don't like cheap shit. Because cheap shit means somebody's getting hurt. You know what I mean? That's why I don't like free things. Free things always mean somebody got hurt. Like the reason why it's free is because someone got hurt. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I don't like free shit. That's why I don't like cheap shit. You know, I buy it because I don't have a choice. I live in society and I gotta clothe myself. You know what I mean? And I'm not made out of money. But me personally, I'd rather have haute couture. If I had a clothing brand, I would go for haute couture and not for cheap shit. Because when yeah, that's expensive. And yes, you're gonna make some money. You know, but the thing is, you're still ethical. You're doing a ridiculous amount of money. It's fucking stupid, but you're not hurting nobody. You're actually saving lives by doing so. You know what I mean? Because let's say for some fucking reason, pardon my language, but for some hypothetical reason, right? You come out with your fucking brand, right? You come out with your brand of clothing, right? It's haute couture, and everybody for some reason just decides to only buy your shit, right? And you just keep making them by hand. You keep making it inside of the country. First of all, that's another thing that's good about haute couture. You're making money for your country. Like, America should have more haute couture people instead of. And that's what fucking Putin did in Russia with the fucking with the free market thing that he did, right? He removed Gucci, Louis Vuitton, he removed all that shit. You can't get no Gucci in Russia. You can't get no Gucci in Russia. You can't get no Louis Vuitton. But everything that's Russian is sold there. So everybody that has an actual that had an idea, a business idea, and try to sell it, they don't have to compete with Nike. They don't have to compete with Reebok. They don't have to compete with Louis Vuitton. They don't, no. And the money stays in the country. So you become wealthy and the people are happy. They become wealthier also, because that money is just being recycled at this point. The money is just being recycled. You know what I mean? So it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, and it should happen more. Even in America, it should happen more. It doesn't happen like that because America always outsourcing. America's always outsourcing. Most of the clothing brands that people wear are not American, brands. Same shit in Canada. Most of the shit that we wear is not Canadian. You know what I mean? Barely, if there is any. And there probably is. I just can't think of one right now. And there probably is. I just can't think of one right now, But that's how much we outsource. That's how much we import, right? So we're losing money on import. We're importing clothes that people want, but the money, the money goes out of the country. So we're losing money. And then the government's like, oh, we're going to have to hike up the tax because we got debt. Yeah, but you're importing shit all day. You're importing shit all day. And the worst part is you're importing shit from overseas. So we never see it. Once that money is gone, we never see it. It's gone because it goes outside of the country. And when you buy Louis Vuitton, you're not buying for your country, you're buying for France. It goes to France. It doesn't go to America. It goes to France. So you're making France richer. You're making Italy richer. No pun intended, no offense meant, but that's just facts. You're making Europe richer, and you're making your country poorer. And in the meantime, you're sitting there throwing tomatoes and fucking all kinds of shit to the entrepreneurs that's trying to make money and that's trying to get people to spend money inside of the country. Because, yeah, I'm making money, but I'm still spending inside of the fucking country, right? I'm still spending inside of the country, man. They're happy. They get their money. They're happy. They get their money. We don't get too many import shit. So the tax rates goes down. The fucking income goes up for everybody, not just me, for everybody, because of a bunch of businesses like me that's a little bit sporadically spread out everywhere around the map. So, like I said, I'm not even talking about women at this point. I'm just generalizing. I'm talking about everybody at this point. You know what I mean? Like, so it is what it is. Like you either people have this disdain, like I said, this hatred, for entrepreneurs. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know why that is, man. Like, I don't know. And there is some entrepreneurs that are shady and shifty and shit like that. But tell yourself this dude heard you dissing him. This guy heard you diss him. This guy heard you say all the bad shit you have to. Sometimes you even said it to his face. You know what I mean? We get disrespected, man. Some people tell me I don't want to go around asking, like, I do shit like, let's say I start my Twitch channel, right? People sometimes, just because of my Twitch, people are like, oh man, I'm not sitting there. And then you see people be like, I'm not sitting there asking for people for money. I'm not asking people for money, bro. Like, I'm Twitch streaming. I'm playing the video games. I like video games. I've been playing video games since I was fucking 6 months old or some shit. Like, 3 second old. You know what I mean? So, and I'm fucking good at it. Like, I'm amazing at video games, I'm a shenanigan, I'm super shenanigan guy, right? Like, so, I love playing video games, man. That's why I'm doing it. And shit, if I can make money at the same time doing something that I'm already good at, I don't see what the problem is with that. And I'm not too crazy with it, because it's not like I'm not asking for super tanks. I'm not literally asking people for money. I'm waiting for the platform to pay me, just like I'm doing here on YouTube. I'm not necessarily asking people to pay me here on YouTube. I'm not asking people for money. I don't have super tanks. I don't have super chats. I don't have any of those fucking things. I don't have a paid membership. No, I'm waiting for the platform to pay me, because the platform is going to pay me. I'm not asking people for money. It's YouTube that pays me. It's not people. You know what I mean? People subscribe to my channel, and the more people subscribe to my channel, the more probability of publicity and advertisement that I can place. Therefore, my channel grows in value because there's a lot of people that watches it, and then there's a potential for sponsorship or things like that. That whatever. So that's still not people paying me. It's other businesses that are paying me. So when people are very aware of that. So when people say that shit, it's just out of disrespect. It's just because they don't like your face. You know what I mean? It's not like they don't like your face, but it's just disrespectful. You know what I mean? It's just disrespect. It's disrespect. So in the case of ladies, that I don't know, man. It just seems like women just don't like entrepreneur guys. They don't like guys that have a head on their shoulders, man. Because you gotta have a head on your shoulder to do shit like that. You have to have some brains to do that. And it's like it's a turn off. It's like a turn off. It doesn't, money does not make her come, bro. And that's weird, but that's weird because it does make her come. Like, money does make her come, but there's certain kind of money that she likes, and there's other kinds of money she don't like. And most of the time, it's, I don't know. It's weird. Not most. I ain't got nothing to say. I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's weird. It's like you accept certain types of money from certain. It's like, because the money is connected to the person's character. And there's certain people with certain character, it's acceptable for them to be that way. And then there's others, it's not. And it's not very clear on why that is, So if women want to clarify this, please do so, man. You're welcome to do so. If there are any women that listens to my channel, and let's mind you, the last 20 minutes of my rant here, my rhetoric, the last 20 minutes of my rhetoric has nothing to do with ladies. That was generalized. The part that does have something to do with ladies is the fact that some ladies don't actually fucking want a fucking entrepreneurial man. And I don't understand why. Because an entrepreneurial man is a man that's going towards a steady flow of income and a balanced lifestyle, a healthy balanced lifestyle. So I don't know what the problem is. I don't know why you don't like that, and if you want your guy to just be a consumer and not indulge in the manufacturing process, well, I don't know. Like I said, please explain why that is. And in some way, shape, or form, I kind of understand because he's more available, right? He can give you more attention because he's always at home. You're always around. His friends are in your house, so he's there. He's available. He can give you the attention you need. But then again, if you want that kind of attention from an entrepreneurship point of view, an entrepreneur man, why don't you just hang around? Hang around. Like a guy like me, I want you to hang around. I'm not gonna be like, oh, go away because I'm working. No, hang around. Play with your cell phone because I'm gonna make jokes. I'm gonna ask you questions. I'm gonna ask you how your day was, or I'm gonna make stupid jokes. Or I'm gonna be like, oh, yo, look at this, man. This is really cool. Or do you think this? I'll ask you for your opinion. Do you think this is nice? Or blah 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 blah. I value people's I value the people's stuff because your insight could give me insight. Your insight could give me insight. So I don't know. I'm just picking things out of my head here, but I don't know. If there's any ladies on my channel, which there are not a lot of, but is there any ladies that have a response on why entrepreneurial men are seen as such a fucking horrendous thing in the relationship value base? Please let us do so. Enlighten us. Let us know what's up. Let us know what's going on. Because I think it's weird. I don't know what's happening. I don't really understand it. I don't really get it. So it might just be me. Maybe I missed a a point, I missed a thing there. So, you know, please do so, man. Like, if you feel differently, you have a good reason to feel differently, you know, please let us know, because I don't think we know. I don't think entrepreneurs understand why they get like rejected by women. I don't think so, because I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I don't know why, bro. Like, it's kind of weird. It's wild. Like, you know, it's, you know, I think it's wild, man. I think it's crazy. So, you know, but like I said, I'm not the perfect example, because I'm a little bit, I'm a rebel. I be rebellious and shit, and so I'm a fallen angel. You know, I'm a fallen angel. I'm a fallen angel that got kicked out of paradise. So, you know, it is what it is. You know, so. But like I said, I'm still an entrepreneur. I still see things. I still listen. I still see things. I still see people. I still listen to people. And it's always the same rhetoric. People have this disdain, this prejudice towards that kind of man, a high value man. You know, a high value man. Not everybody wants to hang around a high value person. You know, and that's cool. But that don't explain how come we're all single, though. That's the only thing, though, that don't explain why every one of us is single. That's not supposed to be. Women are supposed to be part of that shit, man. Women are supposed to come with the territory, you know what I mean? It's supposed to come with the territory. Anyway, so I'm gonna stop the video right there. Have a good one, man. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel, leave a like, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good one. Peace out.